Alright, everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So getting caught up on some Shonen Jump stuff today as we're finally back to, well, mostly back to kind of weekly reviews. Because the problem is only Akane-Banashi is kind of like the only series I review that kind of drops weekly right now. So in most cases, I kind of like to let at least 2 chapters of that pile up before I do weekly review stuffs. But yeah, hopefully we'll be back to like more regular weekly schedule stuff once some of the other series I cover start to come back to a more regular schedule as well. That said, though, we got some good stuff coming your way. We got Akane-Banashi and some Spy Family chapters today. Kaiju number 8 is still on break, so we'll hopefully get caught up with that next couple of weeks once that's back from its hiatus. Apart from that, I'll also get to some read-throughs this weekend, either today or tomorrow. So we got Yona of the Dawn and the next volume of Bride's Story all lined up. So a lot of good stuff coming your way, so if you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. This time I do have my tablet ready to go if I want it, in case I want to show off some panels and things as I'm going through the chapter. Without further ado, let's get into it with Akane-Banashi, story 129, Is This Rakugo? With story by Yuki Tsunaga, art by Takia Masamoe, with translation by Stephen Paul, lettering by Sneeron, and Rakugo supervision by Keiki Hayashiya. So we see a zzzt and a shwa. Someone is, I assume, watering their thing. And you see these 2 little kids running by with, "Hey, wait up!" You see a shwa. And you pick up where we left off last time with like these shadowed figures of Akane and Shiguma, like as he's doing the Rakugo performance. And you see Akane kind of just looking at him a little bit dumbfounded. And as he finishes, he goes, "And that is Shiguma's art. What did you think?" And Akane's like, "What did I think?" And she's like, "Is this Rakugo?" And she just kind of looks confused. And Shiguma smiles and goes, "I wondered the same thing the first time I heard it. Shiguma's art is fundamentally different from other stories. Do you understand now why it's unfinished? What I just taught you is merely the framework. How you choose to fill it in will depend on the path you travel as a Futatsume." And Akane is like, "Master, how did you perform this story?" And he kind of shakes his head and goes, "You see, I already heard the previous Shiguma's art." And you see, as like this packed theater crowd, you see someone on stage performing as Shiguma and the others like are watching from backstage. And he goes, "I certainly can't deliver anything that lives up to it. I didn't think myself worthy to challenge it, and eventually, I lost the right to perform it at all." And he goes, "This wouldn't have happened with Isho Anisan, I suspect." And Akane is like, "What do you..." And he's like, "Anisan wasn't allowed to learn Shiguma's art, which is why he chases and pines for it." And he's like, "It will be the means by which you can win his acceptance." And you see kind of just like gritting her knuckle, or like just like clenching her fists. And Shiguma's like, "It's fine to be motivated, but it's a long and treacherous path before you master this." It's like, "The same is true for you." No, Akane says, "The same is true for you. I humbly ask for your wisdom and forbearance in the long days ahead." She goes, "Heh," as she smiles. It's like, "Then first, we need to work on your overall ability. At the time I learned this story, the previous Shiguma told me to master 3 stories to the point that they could be called my specialties." It's like, that's the... And you hear a ding dong. It's like, "Delivery!" And you see, just Shiguma like, getting all excited. He's like, "That's the plastic model of Kumamoto Castle I ordered." He's like, "Oh, just a minute. I'll rush to the door and handle it." And you see it, as Akane like tries to get up, and she just like falls backwards with, my legs are numb. And he's like, "Ugh, so embarrassing." He's like, "Give me a moment," as Shiguma heads towards the door. And Akane's like, "Ow." He's like, "This doesn't even happen to me during performances." And you have Rakugo, fun fact, is like center. During a performance, you're moving your body so your legs don't fall asleep. But even a Rakugoka has to deal with dead legs if they sit still for hours at a time. And she thinks back to like, "And you still want to do this?" It's like, "Yes. I'm going to be a Shinichi of the Arakawa school." And she's like, "It's been 2.5 years since then, and it's finally starting. The path to Shinichi." And as she's sitting there, she's like, "Ding dong." He's like, "Again?" And as she's walking to the front door, she's like, "Ow." It's like, why does Master get so many deliveries? I mean, I guess I know why. He was buying so much stuff in Shibuya. Maybe having so many hobbies isn't the best thing. What the fuck, bro? And as she heads to the front, she sees Shiguma just collapse to the entrance. And hears shwa shwa. She's like, Master? Bro, what the fuck is this happening? So I guess quick thoughts on the chapter. Some kind of like intrigued and wary of like the whole Shiguma's art, Nakane being like, oh, you know, like, is this Rakugo kind of thing? Because on the one hand, I'm like, all right, let's your imagination kind of like, you know, run wild, kind of concern, like, you know, what could Shiguma's art possibly be that even Akane is kind of like so taken aback by like considering like, you know, is this Rakugo, like, you know, what did I kind of just witness? And on the other hand, I'm kind of like, you know, the problem is like when you try to build up and like tease all of this anticipation for like, oh, you know, Shiguma's art, like, you know, it's so wild and different and like unique. And then if you don't deliver on something that kind of matches your anticipation or your like the idea you built up of what it could possibly be, then I feel like it has a potential to fall really, really flat. So yeah, I'm curious as to like what exactly they're gonna do with Shiguma's art, because I don't know if I talked about or theorized about this before, saying like, you know, if Shiguma's art is kind of just gonna, because I think we've already seen it kind of with Akane, where, you know, she's kind of like incorporating and integrating other Rakugo stories and like combining, amalgamating them into like her own to kind of create like something that, while it pays homage and like respect to the original, also kind of like, you know, does kind of try to do like its own thing where she kind of like incorporates like the different elements into it. So I wonder if Shiguma's art is kind of like trying to come up with, you know, its own kind of Rakugo story, because I don't know if this has been touched on in the series before. Like, you know, how do they decide, like, you know, which stories are fit to be adapted for Rakugo? Like, if they're like a metric by like, you know, who gets to decide like what stories are compatible for Rakugo performances, like who gets to write them, things like that. But yeah, I'm kind of wondering, like, you know, what is Shiguma's art going to be? Because it seems like it's kind of being built up to be like the penultimate expression of Rakugo. So I wonder if that's supposed to be kind of like, you know, I don't know, like a genre bending or like merging kind of story where it's like, you know, because Eisho's ultimate aim is like, you know, you have to be like, you know, the pinnacle of Rakugoka. You have to be able to entertain and appeal to every single person in the audience, and you have to keep them completely captivated at all times during the performance. And that's the thing with Rakugo, is like, you know, Rakugo has so many like different stories from like so many different genres and styles and things. So I wonder if Shiguma's art is kind of like an attempt to create like a story that embodies like all those disparate elements into one kind of story, or what, I guess, one kind of storytelling method. But we'll see. Apart from that, I don't know what they're doing with the, you know, Shiguma kind of suddenly collapsing. Like, I don't know. I guess we'll see with that. Kind of feel a little bit surprising, but I don't know if it like was really like as impactful seeing it. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the next chapter. So with all that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, you know, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, I'll get caught up with all the Shonen Jump chapters today, and then hopefully I'll have at least one read-through video out tomorrow. If not, look forward to those dropping tomorrow. And until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.